話が。二代目様、指を下ろせ。
Let's be real for a second. For years, the internet has had its fun with the Second Hokage, Tobirama, the Uchiha-hater. The memes are legendary. We've all seen them. Every time an Uchiha trips and falls, a Tobirama somewhere gets his wings. It's the easy take, the surface-level reading, that he was just a prejudiced old man who couldn't let go of a grudge from the Warring States era. But what if I told you that's a massive oversimplification? What if I told you that calling Tobirama Senju a simple racist is letting yourself off the hook because the truth is far more calculated, far more pragmatic, and infinitely more chilling? This wasn't about hate. This was about survival. All right, strap in. We're about to break down the cold, hard political calculus of a man forged in the crucible of endless war. We're going to analyze his policies, his philosophy, and the master plan he put in place to protect his village from what he saw as an existential threat. This wasn't prejudice. This was a 5D chess move against a force of nature. And by the end of this, you will never look at the history of Konoha the same way again. To understand the political operator, you must first understand the child soldier he was forced to be. Tobirama Senju wasn't born in a peaceful village. He was born into the blood-soaked mud of the Warring States period, an era where the average lifespan of a shinobi was 30, an era where children were handed kunai before they could even read, an era where your last name determined who your sworn enemy was, from birth. He watched his younger brothers, Kawarama and Itama, get slaughtered by Uchiha clansmen. He saw his own father willing to sacrifice his children for the sake of a pointless, endless cycle of revenge. Unlike his older brother Hashirama, who saw this horror and dreamed of a future built on love and trust, Tobirama saw the same horror and came to a different conclusion. He saw the world as a system, a brutal equation of cause and effect, and the Uchiha were a variable that always led to the same result: death and destruction. His worldview wasn't shaped by ideology, it was shaped by data. The data of his dead brothers, his dead comrades, and a century of warfare. He was a pragmatist, a scientist in a world of zealots. And that cold, logical mind would go on to shape the entire political landscape of Konoha. This is the absolute core of his entire argument. Tobirama's issue with the Uchiha was not, in his mind, about their bloodline in a racist sense. It was about what he perceived as a neurological, biological flaw. He called it the curse of hatred. He observed that the Uchiha clan possessed a unique capacity for love, a love so profound that when they experienced a great loss, it triggered a powerful chemical reaction. A special kind of chakra would flood their brain, directly affecting their optic nerves and evolving their Sharingan. This trauma-fueled evolution didn't just give them a power-up, it fundamentally altered their psyche. The immense love would flip, becoming an equally immense hatred. This hatred, in turn, drove them to seek more power to protect what they had left, or to destroy the world that had caused them pain. Look at the evidence he saw. Madara, who loved his brother Azuna so fiercely that losing him turned him against the entire world his brother had helped build. Obito, who loved Rin so purely that her death made him want to erase all of reality. Sasuke, Itachi, the list goes on. From Tobirama's scientific perspective, the Uchiha weren't just an enemy clan. They were a walking, talking time bomb of emotional instability, hardwired for self-destruction. Hashirama's will of fire was a philosophy of hope and trust. Tobirama saw that as a beautiful but fatally naive ideology. You can't fight what he saw as a neurological condition with speeches about love. You fight it with containment, with systems, with control.
そういうことではない。わしはどの一族とて里にと
So, Konoha is founded. Hashirama's dream is realized. But Tobirama, the pragmatist, is already thinking about the next war, the one that will be fought inside the village walls. His brother wants to make Madara the Hokage. Tobirama sees this as putting a match next to a powder keg. Once he becomes the second Hokage, he puts his master plan into motion. And it is a move of such ruthless political genius that it's often mistaken for simple bigotry. He creates the Konoha military police force and makes the Uchiha its sole operators. The surface level reading, it's segregation. He moved them to the edge of the village, gave them a job that would put them at odds with the citizens, and effectively isolated them. And yes, all of that happened, but look at it from Tobirama's perspective.
First, it was a strategic allocation of power. He didn't disarm the Uchiha, he didn't throw them in camps. He gave them a prestigious and vital role in the village's infrastructure. He took their natural affinity for powerful jutsu and their strict code and channeled it into a state-sanctioned purpose. It was a way to keep them occupied, to give them a sense of authority, and to integrate them into the system, not just as a clan, but as an official government branch. Second, and more cynically, it was the ultimate containment and surveillance strategy. Giving them control of the police force meant their headquarters would be a central hub of Uchiha activity. It kept the clan's most powerful members in one place under the direct authority of the Hokage. It was a way to watch them, to keep tabs on their internal politics, and to ensure any potential rebellion could be monitored and quashed before it began. He turned their own organization into their gilded cage. And finally, it was a political test. It was a double-edged sword offered to the clan. Here, Tobirama was saying, is your chance. Prove that your loyalty is to this village and its laws, not just to your own clan. Enforce the peace, be the symbol of order, and you will be celebrated. But he knew their pride. He likely predicted that they would see it as an insult, that they would grow resentful, and that their isolation would breed the very hatred he feared. It was a move that, no matter how it played out, would either force the Uchiha to integrate or force them to reveal their true colors. A chilling, high-stakes political gamble. So, was Tobirama a villain, or was he a visionary? The most terrifying answer is, he might have been both. His greatest fear was that the Uchiha's curse of hatred would one day threaten the entire village. And what happened? His fears were validated time and time again. Madara came back, Obito waged a world war, and the Uchiha clan, feeling isolated and resentful, just as he likely predicted, planned a coup d'etat that would have plunged Konoha into a bloody civil war if not for Itachi's sacrifice. From a certain point of view, his cold, pragmatic predictions were 100% accurate. But the counter-argument is just as powerful. Did he predict the future, or did he create it? His policies, especially the police force, created a self-fulfilling prophecy. By treating the Uchiha as a potential threat, by isolating them and placing them under a microscope, he fostered the exact environment of resentment and paranoia needed for the curse of hatred to fester on a systemic level. Had he followed his brother's path of radical trust, could he have broken the cycle? We'll never know.
Tobirama Senju was not a simple hater. He was a complex, brilliant, and deeply traumatized man trying to build a lasting peace using the ruthless tools of war. He was a political architect who designed a system to contain a force he believed to be an unstable element. He may have saved Konoha from countless threats, but the price of his pragmatism was the soul of an entire clan, and his actions laid the very foundation for the conflicts that would nearly destroy the world he worked so hard to build.
So, the question is now yours. After breaking it all down, what do you think? Was Tobirama a cold, calculating hero who did what was necessary? Or was he a paranoid leader whose own mistrust doomed the Uchiha clan? This is one of the biggest debates in the entire fandom, and I need you to go off in the comments. If this analysis rewired your brain, please hit that like button to help spread the discussion. And of course, if you haven't already, subscribe and ring that bell for more deep dive analyses that challenge the official narrative. And don't forget to leave your requests for the next topic you want us to put under the microscope. Thanks for joining the debate. We'll see you on the next one.